What's up, guys? GameNut here, and welcome back to our Week 2 predictions of the NFL regular season. So before we go ahead and get into my picks, let's of course do a quick recap of the first week, our predictions from last week, as well as what EA's picks were, and you guys can see what our record is going to be sitting at. So as we take a look at our picks, you guys can see right now the ones that we guessed correctly and incorrectly, and we didn't do too bad. We almost broke even. We almost got 50-50 right and wrong. We finished with a 7-9 record, so I'm okay with that. I mean, a couple of the games I guess that stood out though, like that I didn't expect to go a certain way. I mean, obviously the Browns and Steelers, we both got that incorrect because technically they tied, so neither of us got that right, choosing a team to win, so obviously that counts as a loss for us. But the Browns, man, they almost got it done. I was so proud of them. It was just like, they're gonna win this game. They just got the turnover in overtime, about to kick the field goal. But I just couldn't help but then laugh, because when the field goal got blocked, it's literally just such a Cleveland Brown way to finish that game. It was just funny. But I mean, hey, they did a really good job, not gonna lie. So props to the Browns, man. They almost got it done. At least they finished with the tie. They didn't lose technically. So I guess the other games that would stand out to me would be the Saints and Buccaneers. In no world did I not only see the Bucs winning this game, but I didn't see them posting 48 points playing at the Saints Stadium. I mean, that was definitely a very surprising outcome. So I mean, GG's to the Bucs. That's a nice first win for the season on them. And then I guess the other game would probably be the Jets and the Lions. I mean, the Lions just flat out sucked. I mean, it was terrible, man. It's either Sam Darnold is the truth and he's about to take these Jets to the Super Bowl or something like that, or maybe the Lions have the curse of what just happened to the Browns, or I guess the curse of a couple of years ago when the Lions went 0-16, because it definitely wasn't looking too good for them, man. So yeah, our first week of our predictions, obviously didn't go terrible, but it definitely didn't go the way that I wanted it to go. I mean, 9 incorrect guesses isn't really good, especially when you think of it that way. But we almost went 50-50, like I said, just one under. And of course, EA beat us out by going 9-7. So as we take a look at our week 2 schedule for the NFL, all right, obviously as we're going to start off with our Thursday night primetime game, which, as you guys know, was my Ravens and the Bengals. And I don't have a tweet of this because I feel like I don't really need to tweet out the fact that, the team that I was picking to win Thursday night is going to be my own team. So, obviously, I chose the Ravens to win this game, and unfortunately, they just folded, man. I mean, it was a little bit of a rough game to lose. I mean, the defense, this defense of the Ravens that is supposed to be so great and just have all these stops and everything like that, they led the league in turnovers in the past 2 years. They did nothing to contribute in that game. They didn't even post a sack. They didn't get a turnover. They literally did nothing to help us out in that game. So I mean, that's probably the biggest reason why we lost. Aside from that, the defense got tons of stupid penalties on top of it. We also got some on offense as well. And then a lot of people will say it's all Flacco's fault because everybody just hates Flacco. But honestly, only the first interception was his fault. The 2 turnovers after that, it was because his O-line couldn't block for him. I mean, literally, the defense, Geno Atkins and Carlos Dunlap were in that man's face within 2 seconds of the ball being snapped. It was just a complete disaster. So in the back of my head, playing a AFC North rival, it's always going to be a close game. It's always going to be tough. We're never going to go 5-0 or 6-0 against the entire division. So I kind of expected this game to go either way. I didn't think that we would destroy them like we did the Bills. I wasn't like, when we played the Bills, I was obviously super confident in us destroying them. But obviously when it does come to the Bengals, I wasn't super confident because, like I said, it's a division opponent. It's always going to be a tough game. But unfortunately, we came out on the losing side of this one. So moving on forward with the rest of our predictions for the NFL season, we actually have a lot of division games this week, which is going to be definitely interesting to see. First one starting off is going to be the Panthers at the Falcons. So this should definitely be a good one. Obviously, the Falcons usually have kind of had the Panthers number in past years, especially you guys probably remember that year that Julio Jones got 300 receiving yards against the Panthers at home. That was a wild game to see. But I'm going to have to go with the Falcons in this game once again. I think that they're going to get a bounce back week. It will be a nice division win for them, and both of these teams are going to come out being 1-1 on the season. Next up, we have the Chargers at the Bills, and I think this is going to be an easy pick for me. We're going to be going with the Chargers. I mean, the Bills, I just still don't see it after they just got decimated by my Ravens. I just don't see the rookie Josh Allen being able to pull this one off at home. I think the Chargers are going to get their first win of the season here. A very big divisional game this week is going to be the Vikings going to play the Packers. This should be a very interesting game to see. I'm not going to lie. This is definitely one that I want to keep all eyes on and watch pretty much the entire game. Banged up Aaron Rodgers after what he did last week to the Bears. My, what an outcome. of that game it was. It was definitely insane. If you guys didn't see what happened in the Bears game, which I'm sure most of you guys did, it was nuts. Aaron Rodgers is absolutely insane. Now, going against that Vikings defense, Aaron Rodgers is going to be home, but he's banged up. I mean, obviously the Vikings, the ones that took him out of the entire season last year, it's going to be a good one, but you know what? I've got to go A-Rod. After what he did last week, I just can't go against him. I think that Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to get this done and take his team 2-0 on the season. Next up, we have the Browns and the Saints, and I mean, come on, man, there is no way the Saints are going to be losing at home to the Browns, especially after what just happened with the Bucks. I mean, the Browns are coming around, but I just can't see it, man. The Saints definitely have to take this one at home. Another division game here, we've got the Dolphins playing at the Jets, and this is going to be an easy pick for me. Definitely was not expecting the Jets to be a good team this year, but after what I saw they did to the Lions last week, I think I've got to, hop on the Sam Darnold bus right now, and I think that he is going to be able to get this win at home and start off 2-0 on the season. Chiefs taking on the Steelers. This is always a good game to see every year. These teams always play each other tough, and I think Patrick Mahomes going into Pittsburgh is going to come out with the victory. I mean, I don't know why. I don't see the Steelers as a big of a threat this year, especially, how they just struggled against the Browns. I mean, with Le'Veon Bell still being out, Ben Roethlisberger's banged up. I mean, the defense isn't all that great for Pittsburgh. I mean, I think that insanely overpowered offense of the Chiefs is going to be able to get this done. And by the way, last episode, or the Week 1 predictions, I said that Patrick Mahomes wasn't going to put out and put like Deshaun Watson type numbers from last season. I was completely wrong. Patrick Mahomes, it was pretty impressive. I'm not going to lie. Seeing what he did last week, it was insane. So I definitely think he's going to be able to do that once again at Pittsburgh. We've got the Eagles going to the Buccaneers. I think this is going to be an easy pick for me. I think we got to go Eagles here. I mean, although the Bucs just had a pretty good win last week, I don't think that they're going to be able to hold off at home against the Eagles. The Texans at the Titans, another division game of the week, and I think that Deshaun Watson is going to have a bounce back week here. He's going to get a victory. The Titans are another team that's just not completely together, I feel like. After seeing them week 1, they got a couple more injuries now, and it just seems like, I don't know. I think the Texans are definitely going to be able to take this one here, and I hope to see Deshaun Watson come back and actually, play like Deshaun Watson of past. The Colts are going to take on the Redskins, and what a game Adrian Peterson had last week. Shout out to my man AP. It's definitely one of the biggest reasons why I won my fantasy football week last week. That's definitely why I drafted him, because once I saw he was going to the Redskins, I just had like a little gut intuition that AP was going to be back and he was going to be in business, and he definitely was last week, and I think that trend is going to continue this week against the Colts, who are just not a very good team, man. I mean, Andrew Luck being back, I just still don't see it. I don't think that he's fully back yet. I mean, he just doesn't seem like Andrew Luck when he was in his first 3 seasons of the NFL, so I'm gonna have to go with the Redskins in this game. Another division game, like I said, we got a lot of those this week. Cardinals going against the Rams. I mean, I like David Johnson. I think he will have a decent game against this Rams defense, but playing at home, I don't know, man. I think the Rams have to start off 2-0 in the season. Gonna be going ahead and taking them. The Lions going to take on the 49ers. I mean, I honestly did not see the Lions sucking that bad last week. I just didn't. It was crazy to see. I mean, what is the reason? I mean, does Matt Stafford suck really bad? Is it the defense that sucks really bad? I mean, what are the answers? I mean, until I see a turnaround here, I'm always going to be picking against the Lions. I'm sorry, it just is. I think Jimmy G is going to get his first win of the season at home against the Lions. Another division game of this week, we have the Raiders going to take on the Broncos, and I feel like also Derek Carr is going to have a bounce back week. I think that the Raiders will be able to get the victory. They are going to take on the Broncos at home, and they're going to hand it to him, man. I think that Derek Carr is going to come out after what happened last week against the Rams, and he's going to try and prove himself, and I think that they're going to be able to get the victory there. Oh man, this is going to be a good game. The Patriots going to take on the Jaguars. This is going to be a game that I want to see, man. My 1 o'clock game that I want to watch is Vikings-Packers. My 4 o'clock game that I want to watch is this one right here. This is going to be a really good one, an AFC Championship rematch. Pat's taking on the Jags, and you know what? I'm going to have to go Jaguars at home. I think that defense, they are just going to be lively there. They are going to be rocking the crowd. And Tom Brady, obviously he'll put up some good numbers. I mean, like the Jaguars, I don't think are going to decimate them or anything like that. It'll be a close game. But in the end, I'm going to go Jags on top. Our last division game of the week is our Sunday Night Football. The Giants going to take on the Cowboys. And I'm not gonna lie, for some reason, me personally, I just feel like this Giants and Cowboys rivalry has gotten kind of stale and it's a little bit boring. I mean, just the games never seem to be like crazy. Plus, there's never any feature players. I mean, yes, we have Ezekiel Elliott on the Cowboys, but that's it. Because Dak Prescott, for me, he's at the bottom now. I mean, like I said, he's done nothing outside of his rookie season, so I don't really care for Dak Prescott whatsoever. So pretty much this game is going to be Zeke going against Saquon Barkley. I guess you could add Odell in there as well. But aside from that, these games, they're not really that any exciting to me anymore, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. So I do think the Cowboys are going to come out on top. However, although both of these teams, I don't really see an upside for them yet, because like I said, I already explained with the Cowboys, I don't think Dak can lead these Cowboys to the playoffs. And so far, I think that the slow start for Eli and the Saquon era is going to continue, and I think the Cowboys will get the victory here. And our final game of the season, Monday Night Football, we have Seattle going to take on Chicago. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, I have absolutely no idea who's going to win this game. Like, I simply cannot decide on which team I think will win this game. I mean, I sat here trying to go back and forth of reasons why Seattle will win, reasons why Chicago is going to win. And I just can't settle on it. So it's literally just a 50-50 shot for me, and my pick is going to be Seattle. I just think somehow, I guess, that Seattle is going to be the ones that come out on top. And if I did have to go with a reason, my biggest one, I'm going to say is going to be Brandon Marshall. I might be going out a little bit of a limb here, but as you guys know, the receiver, Brandon Marshall, he plays for Seattle now. And I think going into Chicago, which you guys know was his former team of like 5-6 years or something like that, maybe even more, somewhere around there, like 5 or 6 years he was on the Bears. I think maybe he will have a revenge game going back to their stadium, and he could be a big reason why Seattle will come out on top. And there you guys have it. There are my picks for week 2 of the NFL season. But before we go, it is of course time to go ahead and take a look at Madden 19's picks and see who they decided to choose of who will be coming out on top of this week. As you guys know, we are competing against them. So I went ahead and simulated after I chose my picks, and this is going to be pretty crazy to you guys. You'll see what will happen here in just a second. But for the first 5 picks, they chose the same as us. We have the Ravens, Falcons, Chargers, Packers, and Saints. Obviously, we know that Ravens game is incorrect, sadly. The next 2 picks, we have the Dolphins and the Jets. They decided to choose the Dolphins, so they're going against us there, as well as the Steelers and Chiefs. They are going to be taking the home team with the Steelers. Our next slew of picks, once again, 5 more after this, we chose the same once again. So we have Eagles, Texans, Redskins, Rams, and 49ers. So far, we've literally been identical up to this point, and it gets even crazier from here, because after this, they decided to choose the Broncos, so they went different on us here. And our last 3 games, they went the same: Jaguars, Cowboys, and Seahawks. How crazy is this, man? So I picked my picks before this, obviously, and then right after I went to simulate them on Madden. So I didn't see what Madden chose first and then base it off of that. I know some people will probably think that, but I don't really care. It's my word against theirs. But Madden almost identically chose what I picked. There's only 3 games different here that we disagreed on, and that is the Jets and Dolphins games, the Chiefs and Steelers, the Raiders and Broncos games. So that's definitely pretty crazy, man. So we're either going to have a lot of incorrect guesses or a lot of wrong guesses, depending on how well me and Madden here chose our victories. But that's basically going to be it for our week 2 predictions, guys. Hopefully all of you did enjoy. Once again, I will say it like I did last time. Nobody take offense to this. Don't get butthurt if I picked your team to lose. This is simply just my prediction. Obviously, these games could go 50-50. They haven't even happened yet, so obviously these games could be a win or loss for either team. This is just simply what I think is going to be the outcome of these games. So of course I'll show you once again here that these are the choices that Madden decided to pick with all of the scores there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Of course, if you did enjoy the video, put a thumbs up on it, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. I will see you all next week with our week 3 predictions. Take it easy, guys. Peace out.